Hey, I'm Christopher Edwards, the director of Arcadia. Why did I decide to come back to the Nevada Conservatory Theater to direct Arcadia? Because they asked me to come back. But more specifically, I went to undergrad here, got my degree from UNLV in business, and took quite a few theater and acting and directing classes while I was here. It's my sort of the birth of me as a theater artist. I had a great time last year working on 7 guitars. I enjoy the people in the program. There are some amazing students here in the master's program and in the undergrad program, both in the technical department. I have an incredible stage manager who I got a chance to work with again, and as well as the actors, both in the undergrad and MFA acting program. So that's why I came back. The opportunity to work with people here. Some of the challenges of Arcadia, there's quite a few challenges. Arcadia is a modern day or contemporary masterpiece by Tom Stoppard. It is a play that deals with huge ideas. Ideas that deal with philosophy, science, math, and affairs of the heart. Some of the things he talked about in the play are determinism, thermodynamics, chaos theory, landscape gardening, and literary criticism. So the play itself deals with very huge intellectual ideas. Now that's butted up against and juxtaposed against affairs of the heart. The idea that people still fall in love, people, at the end of the day, all want sexual relationships. And as one of the characters pretty much says, people are falling in love with the wrong people, and that sets everything awhirl. So that's a huge challenge in the play, is the contradiction of those two worlds, the affairs of the heart and the affairs of the head. So that's challenging. Also, it takes place in 2 time periods, 1809 to 1812, and for our purposes, 2013. The play was actually written in 1993. So there's a contemporary world and a, for lack of a better term, a period world. That is also very hard because it's hard to follow that story initially, so you have to go along for the ride. The play also takes place in England. And so you're dealing with a period play with British accents and a modern play with contemporary British accents. So that's challenging, that's hard for the actors. Also, I think a huge thing about this play is you are, as a director and an actor, when you come to this play, you're confronted with how intellectually adept you might, the lack of intellectual adeptness in reading a Stoppard play, because he's brilliant and he's a genius. So you're constantly wondering and worrying, am I smart enough to direct this play? Am I smart enough to bring life to this play as a director? Even as an actor, I would assume, and I know my stage managers and technical staff all feel the same thing, that you're constantly trying to figure out, how do I tell this story in a smart way and let the story breathe for itself. So it's a hugely challenging play. It's an incredible play. It's very successful. It had 2 very successful Broadway runs, as well as in the West End in London. And so, yeah, I think in a nutshell, those are the major challenges of this play. The most rewarding part of being a director is seeing an idea, something that was maybe just a spark in a sea of possibility, come to fruition, both as person who may have the idea for a play. That's very rewarding. Also, I think when I see an actor or a designer or any person in the theater who's working on the show completely allow themselves to express themselves fully through the process, that's very rewarding for me because I get to be the facilitator of that. So I think seeing people express themselves to the nth degree through the process and in the work is extremely rewarding.